right, buenos dias, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with us today for our event, Empowered Pages, Cafecito and Pastries. This event is in celebration of Women's History Month, and El Centro and Student Engagement is here to support the cause of community, to bring our wonderful community members and students all together in celebration of the women in our lives, the women who contribute to our journeys, and in particular today, these incredible entrepreneurs who have taken the time to join us, tell us about their stories, and gift us with their incredible kind of coffees, treats, and knowledge in their books. I'm really, really grateful that you are all here. I know that there's lots of other things you could be doing, and you're taking the time to show up for community, and that matters to us, so thank you. We're gonna start off with an incredible poet, activist, and one of my favorite people, Mishie Serrano, who's gonna be reading from her brand new book, The Holy Rican, Tales of a Hood Prophet. She's gonna be blessing us with some of her poetry. I ask you to sit, to enjoy, and just have a moment in community with us while we celebrate the incredible people. So thank you, Mishie Serrano. Please give her a welcome hand of applause.
It's always so awkward because I'm so short. Where it's like, let me just kidding. All right, how's everybody feeling today?
Great.
That's good. I'm happy the sun is out at least a little bit. Let me move this over so I can see my book, because this is tall, and I am not. All right, so as all of you have heard, I just wrote my first book, and to open the book, I actually wrote a poem called Welcome to Holyoke. This is one of my first times performing it, so I hope you all enjoy. Actually, I'm a spoken word poet. I like this. It's really institution. I'm right here, like, actually, Johan's probably gonna kill me. Let me just, women. Strong women. We love it. There we go. This way I feel a little bit less boxed in. I'm used to like low budget productions. Just kidding, I'm kidding. All right. Often called the paper city or arson city, depending on the generation you're asking, but most notoriously known as the birthplace of volleyball. When I started these poems, I was a mere child, navigating a city, finding its new identity, amongst a new rising generation of elders, desperate to bring forth change for the next generation. Like hometown heroes, they faced poverty, drugs, poor education systems, political turnover, prison, and more. A common theme in many of our lives, so it's hard not to applaud their hustle when admiring their generation of leadership, at least for the good ones. Living here, I've learned it's hard to escape poverty and drugs, but it's not impossible. My folks migrated back in the 90s, and like most elders I speak to, my abuela still misses Puerto Rico. Like many of us, she too dreams of returning. Always for retirement, always with intention of building a house on some terreno left behind by some tia or parent. Nonetheless, she enjoys it here though. Holyoke reminds her of a little Puerto Rico. You can still smell fresh pan sobao in the air on early mornings, and the streets are always full of music, and here folks speak Spanish or Spanglish as their chosen language. And honestly, I love that for her. It must be healing finding parts of home like Easter eggs, waiting with reassurance that home is where you make it and not just a location. When I reflect back, I recall the smell of cigarettes and burnt trees on my walks home from school to the bodega. But I now understand that that's just how the hood smells, and folks romanticize New York City, so allow me to do the same for my city. Never quiet, always moving, forever grooving to reggaeton music. Here, my hoopty was a rite of passage, a canon effect in the episode of my life. Shit, when I knew toilet paper was running low, I just stole some from my school. So thank you, taxpayers, genuinely. Anyways, we've got murals, Latino cuisine on every street, and if you need to hook up on plátanos, baby, we still got them for cheap. So fuck you, Banana Boat. And thank you, Bodega Man, for always staying stocked up on our needs. Thank you. This next one, it's gonna be probably completely different, but it's called An Ode to My Scars. There's just no point in dying on hills for folks who are not even willing to move boulders for me. As I mentioned, I face my abusers daily and even lay next to them at night, and yet never forget to pray for them. Trauma is tricky, really. You didn't feel bad when you did it to me, but now here I am feeling for you deeply in hopes of you feeling for me. I wonder if I just forgot to mention, I'm tired of reminding folks about my scars. Because they never seem to forget what they look like, but they always forget why I have them. An awkward silence for the ignored how. I'm not sorry that I showed you my scars. I thought you'd write these words, poetry. Tend to them gently with me as I took the needle of justice to every crooked crevice and found the roadmap back into myself. Shit. I even pondered the possibility of rediscovering home with you beside me. But that's my fault for putting you on a pedestal. Anyways, I'm learning to expect less from human beings. Challenged to understand that even adults play cliche dress-up, save play pretend environments, authors to their own epic stories, yet unfamiliar with their epic flaws. They use pictures to distract you from their lack of potency. Oh, alleged gentle lover, soft to the touch but still equipped with deadly petals, I shall write this ode to thee. May you choke on every floral arrangement meant to distract them all from your thorns. You see, I used to romanticize you, but now I see through the smoke and mirrors and into your soul. Such an interesting place to be, both here and not at all. Some days I long to be like you. For now, I can be found in between riddled poetry, sorrow-filled sonnets, and what-ifs from my memories. Transparently, I know I am more than those moments. Yet I still find myself trying on cookie cutters in hopes of creating a translatable image, a digestible narrative, free of hidden agendas and conservatives to feed souls without preservatives. I guess I owe this journey to thee. Thank you. This is going to be our last poem. I was told to do 3, so make sure I'm on time. Making sure I'm on time, you know how we are. Boricua said never, always on Boricua time. Trying not to do that today. But this last one is called Mommy. If only our mothers knew how hard we cling to the ways in which are deemed tradition. Old school, old-fashioned, hand-me-down lessons, salsa cleaning sessions, Mommy. Bring my island to me. Quiero recoger mis caracoles and hear and hold it to my ear and hear the ocean. These little treasures that flow to me off the waves of your life lessons. Thank you. This is how my mother says she loves me. 1. My mother loved me before she ever even met me and has never stopped loving me since. I just want that to sink in. Still in disbelief that seeds planted in a womb can create life so brilliant, so warm is my mother's love. 2. Pregnancy constantly reminds me how sacred the woman body is. The way we should be worshipped like gods, the way we birth life, the way we hold life in our arms, and whether we physically mother this child or not, our hearts go on instinct and nurture. So powerful is a mother's love. 3. I've met so many childrenless mothers. Mothers so brave and pure, they can love a child so unafraid. Flesh is nothing important. When it comes to loving that child, love that goes beyond the physical acts, the kind of love that plants seeds within you. As a child, I resented my mother, unknowing of the wisdom dripping off her lessons and passion when it came to providing me guidance. Today, yesterday, and tomorrow, I will be a proud daughter. Dear my future children, I hope my love can fill and guide you the way my mother's did. You see, I've learned that children don't listen to you, they mimic you. Like the most intricate game of dress-up, they become you. And I have held my mother on so many heartbreaking nights. felt the come and go of her waves of sorrow, and desperate to drown in something other than the sound of her tears, I comforted her the only way I knew how. The only way she taught me. I hugged her, hard. I know the power of the solidarity amongst women. I know the unwavering strength in a mother's love. See, my women were sterilized against their wishes. So I never seen my mother's pregnancies as a nuisance, but as a blessing to be celebrated. She is simply using her body as any woman who values those words, I guess in her generation, is. A mere temple, expanding with plenty of room for more prayers, which is why I realized they never questioned the white woman with 5 kids. So I simply never questioned mommy. Thank you.
I'm gonna take this out of here because we're actually gonna remove this and share this mic for the panel. So thank you, Mishie.
Oh, do you want me to speak to
No, we're actually gonna move that too. Yeah, we'll take care of that. Oh,
Take care of Lindsay, I got it, don't worry.
Alrighty, so first and foremost, if you have not gotten a ticket, a raffle ticket, we actually will be raffling 4 of Mishie's signed books. Mishie, do you want to show your book really quick? Just, yes. We will be raffling 4 of those. And so we might not get to the raffle today, but so make sure you sign your name and your email on that raffle ticket. And also, if you haven't, and if there are any vouchers left for the coffee for Cafe Con Joselyn, we're gonna let you guys get a taste, but you just need to have that voucher. If not, then there will be some for purchasing. So you can see Brooke and Sunny in the back. If you haven't, for the ticket and the voucher, thank y'all. And so now I'm gonna have the panelists make their way up, along with our moderator. And so you will get to hear about their stories, their success, and these are Latina entrepreneurs. And yeah, we're gonna have a few questions, and you guys will have some time at the end to ask your questions. And so moderating will be our academic counselor, Suli. So she not only advises here, she really, makes it a point to uplift and empower our community here at HCC. And so, what better person to empower our women here on the panel? So yeah, so I'll hand it over so we have enough time to get through the questions, and we want them to answer and tell their stories. If anybody needs a seat, there's a few open over here, so please find a seat because we're gonna take some time and listen.
Good? Okay, so I'm Suli, and I'm gonna start off by handing you guys a mic, and I want you all to start with your name, your age, the city you represent, the name of your business, and how long you've been doing this. Cool?
Hi, my name is Elisha Velez. I'm 27 years old from Springfield, Mass. I've been baking for about 8 years, maybe a little more, but I've been with Sugarfix for 5 years.
My name is Mishie. I'm actually only 24 years old. I've been, I guess, a spoken word poet since I was 15. And I've repped the city of Holyoke, but typically Western Mass because I've lived almost everywhere.
Hi, my name is Joselyn. I am 30 years old. I'm from Springfield, Mass. I've been in the coffee business for roughly 12 years, but on my own, it's been about 7 months now. And I am the owner of Cafe Con Joselyn.
Okay. Can everyone hear me? So every entrepreneur, artist, and change maker has that defining moment where they realize that their hobby cannot stay a hobby. It has to become something that they pursue further. And I want each of you to share with us that moment where you were like, you know what, this is just, it's not enough to write in my room. It's not enough to bake at home for mom and dad. Like, I have to do more. Who wants to start? Okay. Yes.
Okay, yeah, so I actually worked at Starbucks for 12 years, and as much as I love coffee and working there and all the experience I gained from there, a lot of my family and friends actually were the ones who kind of pushed me to do this, because it was always a dream of mine to just open up a coffee shop, do my own thing. And it was in August where I was just like, you know what? So many people are always telling me just like do it, go for it. And I just randomly one day uploaded on on Instagram my coffees and my creations, and I got like so many people following and supporting me, and that for me was like, okay, this is what I gotta do. And it's been going great. I love it. So I think that moment for me was what kind of got me there.
I've had a bit more of a controversial story. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I like to say that this poetry has always been a birthright. I tell you that a lot in your office. So I can say that I've always been a writer. I've always been a poet. I started this journey back when I was 15, and I remember I used to tell everybody, oh, I write poetry because it's cheaper than therapy, which was like super funny at the time, but then I was like, oh wait, no wait, therapy is actually very expensive. I should stick to this. But I think a moment that made me feel like this was for me and I was going to do this and I didn't care if I only got one like or one little retweet or repost, was probably, I had a bad experience performing poetry once. You can Google my name and it'll come up. But I don't ever think that it was a bad experience in terms of like, I was ahead of the curve and folks aren't ready for those moments and ready for that truth. But my mentor, who's actually here, Raul Gutierrez, had a conversation with me, and he like encouraged me to live my truth. And he didn't tell me you don't have to hide yourself, you know what I mean? Just, if this is something you love to do, continue to do it. And he actually continuously got me opportunities to put me on the stage. And that experience kind of became pivotal because I realized that I'm only as strong as my community. And I don't write just for me, I write for my community, and that's probably, that realization is what allowed me to gain momentum and keep writing. In the first page of the book, I say that you guys all kept me writing these poems, and I genuinely mean that. So like, probably those moments, honestly. I'm a yapper, my bad.
So we don't trip again. For me, my business became official in 2020, but before that, I was really baking and creating for whoever would allow me to, friends and family. During like the heat of the pandemic, I was working 2 jobs, mostly with the public. So I was seeing kind of the disconnect between people because of social distancing. And my business kind of was created with that in mind, to kind of incorporate that in there. So when my business became official in 2020, I was slowly like working my way out there, marketing. I was doing any event that I could just to get my name out there, sampling, and it was a lot of fun. Learning, I'm still learning, but perfecting what I like to do. And yeah, that's really, I guess I could say about a year ago in January, I was working a job while also working my business part-time, and I just couldn't balance it. I had to pick one or the other. And anybody, you know, who's an entrepreneur or has a business knows like that leap of faith is really scary, because you kind of have to like let go of your inner convictions and just believe in yourself. And everybody else did already. I could see it from the community, from my friends, from my family, and it was just me. So I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it full time. I'm gonna focus on it. And since then it has grown a lot, and I'm super blessed. So
thank you. Thank you. So, Elisha, I'm going to stay right here with you. Okay. It is not hard to see that you put a little piece of your heart in all of your creations. They're stunning, but they're also delicious. And I noticed in your bio you said that baking has always been like a sort of escape for you. So I want to ask you, how important is it for you to bring your creativity into the recipes and your designs, maintain the high quality taste, and still make sure it's your happy place that you can escape to?
So I guess my escape would be the creativity part. Creating coming up with new things, seeing what works well with what doesn't. My family has had their fair share of nasty things, weird textures. My dad was like addicted to peanut butter stuff, and I like peanut buttered them out. Like cheesecake, buttercream cake, anything that you could think of, I was making it. And they're like, okay, something else. So the creativity part is my favorite part. Baking is okay, but when I'm allowed to like let my creativity flow and do my thing, that's when my best work is put forward. So yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Also, I just want to share, I'm more than happy to taste as well. So if you want to test your creativity with me, I'm more than willing. Now, Joselyn. Okay, so for all of you, I know Joselyn way back, super back. And it's funny because when I first met Joselyn, we were like in high school, maybe middle school. I was in middle school maybe. And every time I would hug her, I'd be like, Joselyn, you smell like coffee. And she's like, yeah, I had coffee right before coming. I'm like, at this tender age, we're having coffee? And she always smelled like coffee. Then she started working at Starbucks. So when I saw Cafe Con Joselyn, my heart just exploded. And low-key, your coffee is the talk of the town. And it's delicious. You can literally taste the love in every cup. But I want to know, we all want to know, what was the defining moment that you realized Cafe Con Joselyn was impacting your community?
All right. So a while back when I had first started, I would have like a couple of regulars here and there. Like, you know, the orders weren't flowing as much, but I was just like, you know, let's just do what we gotta do to make things happen. And I came up with a menu which you love, and it's actually gonna be available today as well. And it was when the Bad Bunny's album came out, the Debí Tirar Más Fotos. Yeah. So when that album came out, it was amazing album. I love Bad Bunny, of course, but like just the message that he had behind the album really inspired me to come up with a coffee menu that, you know, related to me and the community, because, you know, Puerto Ricans, hello. And so when I came out with that menu, it like popped off so well. Like I didn't even think like that many people were gonna love it, and like that for me was a moment where I was just like, no, people really love this. Like, you know what I mean? Because like I said previously, I would have like a couple of people would come here and there, but when that menu came out, like the amount of people who would just write to me like, oh my God, like the meaning behind your menu. I try to contribute like traditional Puerto Rican items like quesito cold foam, queso de papa, like stuff like that like really brought us back home, and that you can't find around here realistically. Like, girl, you go to Starbucks, you ain't gonna find no papa cheese, how they call it, you know what I mean? So for me, I was just like, if I can make something different, and just seeing just the way people appreciated the menu and all that, and I was able to get so many new people to order from me, and now they've become my regulars. So for me, I think that was a moment that was just like, all right, girl.
Yes, you're doing it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mishie. Mishie, I love Mishie. You literally have such a beautiful way with words. The way that you're able to like paint pictures for us with words and metaphors and not a paintbrush is crazy. But I really want you to talk to us about what it means for you to exist in the world of creativity, and then talk about the politics and the political stiffness that entails. And I want you to go there and share your mind with us.
Don't get me canceled, yo. Don't get me canceled. I'm just kidding. I'm uncancelable in my head. I like to remind myself that the personal is political, and if it isn't, you're probably blind. But it's definitely been. I've never been a love poet. I've never been somebody who's written about those experiences. I've been I grew up with very progressive like grandparents and elders who were always pushing me to do the right thing. which stemmed into my love for literature, and I was a part of the ethnic studies cohort. So those seeds were definitely planted. But I think as a creative, I've learned that these are my experiences, and that to someone it may be like, oh, we're talking politics. This is my reality. These are my lived experiences. This is the reality of my kiddos. This is the reality of my elders. This is the generation I come from. This is the reality that we live in. And I think that while sometimes for folks that may be, like a turnoff, okay, you don't like that, cool. Go get you some milk and honey. I'm not a milk and honey girl, but I love it. But honestly, just the different, also the writers who I've idolized have made an impact. I grew up with Tata La Viera, Pedro Petri's Puerto Rican Obituary. So very radical poets have definitely paved the way for this art and allowed me to understand that people love poems, but the poems that make you feel are because you've lived that. Oh yeah, no, that hits. Oh no, that's true. Oh, she's spin up there. Those little moments. And I'm fine with it now. I used to be kind of like ashamed. I used to be like, oh my God, like they're gonna kick me out of here. And then I was like, oh, okay, well, you already paid me, so I don't care. I don't care no more. I don't care. I take payment up front because of that. Just kidding. But yeah, no, I used to be ashamed in that aspect of like, it's hard to be an activist. It's hard to be a change bringer. It's hard to be someone who lives in their truth. But if you're comfortable doing it, walking the talk is the easiest part. You just keep doing it. You know what I mean? Like, I stopped thinking about what are they gonna think, and I started thinking about how do I feel, and that to me changed the whole game for me. Politically, I guess.
Thank you so much. Really, truly, every answer so far really exemplifies strong, go-getting women, and we love it. At this point, I want to ask anybody in the audience have any questions?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
We
have people in the back.
Okay. So, when you became an entrepreneur, was it like scary for you at first?
What are you asking?
All of us? Either. For all of us.
Yeah, I'm scared right now. No, yeah, it definitely was scary. Especially like for me personally, I worked at Starbucks, and the way people are for their coffee could be scary. But yeah, just putting yourself out there, even for this, I was just like, Suli, I can't do this. I'm nervous. And yeah, like it's gonna be scary, but you have to do it while you're scared. That's what I've learned. Like when I do things scared, like that's when you thrive, low key. But yeah, don't be afraid to fall. Like if you want to start your own business, do it. As crazy as it sounds, do it. There'll be people around you to support you. If not, you can always go, like there's mentors, stuff like that. But yeah, it definitely was scary. And it's something I'm still, like I've only been doing it on my own for 7 months, but yeah, it's a lot of work, but as long as you love it and you're passionate about it, I think everything will flow, So that's my say.
Yeah, I agree. It was scary. It was very scary. I wrote my book after I had my son while I was like locked up in the trenches of postpartum, and I was like, I'm gonna write this. I'm gonna get it done. It was not a good light process, but I guess yeah, it's always gonna be scary. And you're always gonna feel corny. I remember someone told me, they're like, you're always gonna feel corny, just don't even overthink it, just get it done. I was like, yeah. So now I just like try to get it done. I don't know if you've, all right, pause. I don't know if y'all have ever seen the Michael Jackson interview where he talks about when I get an idea, I have to execute it, because if not, God's gonna give it to Prince. That's how I feel. Like I need to write the poem down, or like they're gonna deliver it to someone else, and that's my truth. But yeah, you're always gonna feel corny, but just follow your intuition, follow your gut. And if it feels right to you, who cares? Sometimes it's not your art, it's the audience. And that's okay, that can change.
Yeah, so I agree, it is scary. Now, don't be scared, but yeah, the process is scary. It's never not going to be scary. Putting yourself out there is, you're worried about really everything, but do it. Just, if you're scared, just do it. And I think that the only regret that I have from starting my business was not doing it sooner.
That part.
Thank you for that question. Does anybody else have a question? Oh.
I know there's some responsibilities to owning your own business, but what is the process of it? Because I know it involves paying taxes and stuff like that.
I did their tax.
So it's different depending on the type of business that it is. There's different licenses, certifications, and it's a different process really depending on what you're doing. But there are resources and people that can help you if you do decide that you do want to start a business. But yeah.
I actually didn't know. I also am a firm believer. One, I'm not in the tax bracket, so I can't tell you no about taxes. But I can say that at one point when I was doing this work, everyone had an LLC, and I was like, oh my God, I should get an LLC. And then I was like, they're not doing good things with these LLCs. But I will say that I'm a firm believer that you could be a graduate of like YouTube University. Don't be afraid to YouTube it. Don't be afraid to Google it. Don't be afraid to TikTok it, because I guarantee someone out there might have something similar. So don't be afraid to like utilize your own resources. Not everybody has the money to just like have a start. Like no one has a startup fund to just be able to like execute. A lot of times there's money that goes in that's wasted. There's products that are wasted. There's 18 drafts. You're not gonna like the first one, so make sure you have 18 ready. But that whole process, you just have to figure out your lane in terms of what's affordable, what's realistic, and save your big ideas. Sometimes I think, oh, I could do all these cool things, and I'm like, oh, where's your tax bracket? So you know what I mean? Go within your means and don't go above and beyond and like put yourself in a hole trying to execute something that at the end of the day, sometimes creating it with love is just enough.
No. I think you guys can.
Thank you. And so I wish we had more time because I literally had like 17 questions for each of you. Like, Elisha, I want to know, like I know you're Sugarfix and it's pastries, but I saw a couple things on your social media, and between me and you, I want to know if you're going to be doing plates, because I saw some savory things. I saw chicken biscuits. I saw that. I would love to know that.
She could cook.
You've had it. I would love to try it. Mishie, I want to know about your book. I want to hear all about it. I want to hear about who it's for, who it's not for. I want to hear all those things. Joselyn, I know you grew up with your grandma and drinking grandma's coffee. Like, I want to know about traditional like coffee and like the modern twist. We just don't have enough time. But if you guys want to know, you guys can go to their station and ask them. But I do have one more just request. I want each of you to shout out one strong woman who has shaped you and inspired you in any way for this moment.
It's funny because like I know exactly who I'm going to say. It's like the first person that pops up, and it's my mom. She's actually here. She's here at literally every event. But my parents are really my backbone. Without their support, I would just not be the person that I am today, and I wouldn't literally be here. So my dad is here as well. So yeah, but my mom inspires me every day to be better than the next. And you know, without her love and guidance and support and strength, I wouldn't be here. So
Shout out to mom, for real. Sorry. My strong woman has to be my grandmother. My grandmother passed away a week or two after I completed my first draft, submitted my work to be published and printed. But I don't want, don't be feeling bad for me. She's happy up there, I bet. Like, she's good. But Yeah, definitely my grandmother. I have her, we have a dedication page for her in our book, in my book, our book, because she helped me write it. But a lot of these poems were dedicated to her unintentionally with the intention of her reading it and being able to talk to me about it. But she is the backbone to all of my work. She's the backbone to everything. She's taught me everything about my culture. She's taught me everything about my identity, what it is to be strong. So she couldn't be here, but she normally does not miss an event. So I know she's here with me in spirit. But yeah, that's my baby girl.
So honestly, I basically what you just said, copy that. But yeah, no, my grandma, like Suli had mentioned, like she was the one who introduced like the whole coffee in my life, and she's someone who I used to always go to for anything. Like she would give me advice on cooking eggs or anything. I don't know, anything I could think of that was so small. I'd be like, "Well, ¿cómo tú haces esto? ¿Cómo que tú?" And like, you know, there would just be ways that she would do stuff that I'm like, okay, but when I do it, it's not like that. Yeah, so yeah, she was just very talented, like even craft-wise. Maybe that's where I got it from, because she could make a good cup of coffee and she could cook, okay? But yeah, she was very strong, very like a go-getter. And I don't know, I just admire her, love her, and I wish she would be here to see me today as well, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's who inspires me.
I just want to shout out you three incredible women. I cannot believe I had the honor to ask you ladies questions. I'm so happy you guys are here, but I would be remiss if I did not shout out the El Centro team right now. Julissa, Cintiq, and Aurelis are literally phenomenal women. I cannot imagine working with anybody else. I don't want to ever work with anybody else. I think that as iron sharpens iron, strong women build strong women, and I am so incredibly blessed to work with them. And yeah, that's this part of the section. Thank you.
All right, guys, so I know y'all just dying to get the coffee and the treats, so I'm gonna do this fast, but they're like, are we done? Can we get the goods you've been talking about? Y'all are incredible, and we just want to give a token of our appreciation for you coming and joining us. So we have these certificates of appreciation, y una florecita para las flores. So there you go. I'm like, put this one. So Miss Mishie, perdón. So again, just a token of our appreciation for spending time with us today and sharing your knowledge and your experience. Thank you everybody for your patience. Now these lovely women are gonna go to their stations and treat you to what you've been waiting for, the real deal goods. Thank you.